When designing wings for the new S-Tek line, we decided there wasn't a lot of room for innovation, and so our focus on the wings is really around quality and fine-tuning of details and the small finishing elements that make a good wing into a great wing. To begin with, there are only 3 models in the range. We've moved away from the horseshoes and the bungees and a lot of the other wing styles in favor of the donuts, which are gaining more universal popularity. We're offering the new donut wings in 3 lift capacities. We have a 30-pound, a 40-pound, and a 60-pound. All 3 of them have similar features or shared features, and we've spent the same energy on fine-tuning the 3 different wings. Primarily on the 40 and 60, one of our big focus areas was the overall contour. We wanted to make sure that the air could move freely around that wing in order to escape easily when you're needing to deflate. We also wanted to make sure that small details like the dump valves didn't catch on the backplates and that they were still easily reachable. The routing of the corrugated hoses was perfect. The epaulet placement, all of those small details, we wanted to really make sure that they were optimized. All 3 of the new donut wings feature a double Cordura construction. And what we mean by that is the outer shell is 1000 denier genuine Cordura fabric. Cordura has a fantastic track record for abrasion resistance, and we really felt that we wanted to go top of the range for the fabrics on this new wing. What we have done that is a little unusual is the inner bladder inside this wing is also Cordura. That's a 500 denier Cordura. We wanted to do the best of the best, and we felt that the double Cordura construction was a nice touch. Some nice other small finishing touches. We have a stitch fold stitch construction on all of the seams, which is extremely strong. We have embroidered logos, which obviously they look great, they really are durable. And as usual, we have stainless steel eyelets at the bottom of the wings for helping to drain water out once you have finished your dive. But we have added a 3rd eyelet up at the top. And that's a little bit interesting, really. It's actually an air escape eyelet. It's not for water to drain out. What we quite often found is when you first get into the water with a Tek wing, there would be some air trapped between the 2 layers, and you would see that air taking some time to diffuse through the outer layer of fabric. It's not really a big deal, but we thought it was a nice touch to allow that air to escape very easily as you get into the water. We've obviously also used the highest quality eyelets for the main connection points that we could, reinforced with a military grade webbing strip underneath. And we've taken a bit of a different approach with the epaulet, where most wings have an epaulet stitched on the back panel. What we really want that epaulet to do is to route that corrugated hose over your shoulder. So we decided to put that epaulet also in the military grade webbing, but on the side or lateral panel of that wing. And that gives us a really nice positioning of that corrugated hose. When it comes to other finishing details, we obviously have Scubapro's high quality, high flow dump valves that you'll find on other Scubapro products. We have YKK zippers and really high quality continuous filament polyester thread that's used for all of the stitch work. When it comes to the Airway, this is all new for the new S-Tek range. Starting up at the top, we have our low profile elbow that attaches onto the wing. It is rotatable, not that it would rotate during a dive, but it just helps you to get the exact correct angle for your setup and to help avoid hoses and first stages up at the top of the twin set. We then have a new elliptical EPDM high flow corrugated hose that's really durable and obviously has high flow rates and is very flexible. An unusual feature that we've put on that corrugated hose is in the center we have a saddle. In other words, one of the corrugations is missing. The purpose of that is we have one of our branded silicone bands that you've seen on the harnesses that helps to secure the low pressure feed hose onto the corrugated hose, and it looks really nice and neat. Moving further down that airway, we get to our all new Scubapro designed Tek BPI. It's K-style, as you can see, meaning that the inflate button is on the side, deflate on the end, and this configuration is the preferred configuration for many Tek divers and military divers out there, which is what prompted us to do a new development on this inflator. The inflator is extremely comfortable to use. The flow rates, both inflation and deflation, are exceptional, and it's a really high quality unit that uses the same spare parts that other Scubapro inflators do use. While all 3 of the new wings use the same construction method and general features, they each have a different purpose in mind. The 30-pound is obviously single tank use only, that's pure recreational diving. The 60 pound is pure twin tank use. It's really only for use with heavy twin sets and for extreme diving. The 40 pound is a new take on a 40 pound wing. In the past, we had two different 40 pound wings, one for single tank diving, one for twin tank diving. With the new S-Tek system, when used with our backplate and our new single tank adapter, the new 40 pound wing can be used for single tank diving or twin tank diving. So that's going to be a really versatile wing. In any event, all three of the wings are top quality, really high performance, and featuring all of the latest Airway components. Part of the challenge when creating a high quality BCD or wing is to come up with fabrics that are going to hold up to the diving environment. So that means it's got to be resistant to ultraviolet light, it's got to be resistant to chemicals, for example, in a swimming pool. And I think we've all seen dive products, BCDs in particular, that fade after some time in a diving environment. In our search for fabrics, we decided early on that we wanted to use Cordura, and the Cordura that we're using is dyed black in a slightly different process to some other fabrics. It's what we call dope dyeing. When you normally dye fabric, you would take yarn, let's say it's nylon for example, and the nylon yarn would be woven into the fabric, which would be a kind of whitish natural color, and that would then be dyed. The fabric would be post-dyed into whatever color you wanted. Dope dyeing takes a bit of a different approach. Dope dyeing says if you want a black product, rather than starting with white or natural yarn, let's actually spin that initial yarn from black pellets. So in other words, the nylon polymer, they will actually start off with black nylon polymer. They will make that initial yarn black. They will then weave that into fabric that is already black. And there are a number of benefits to dope dyeing over what we would call post dyeing. Number one, it is far more resistant to fading. And the reason is quite simple. That yarn is not just white with some black coloration on the outside, it's black the whole way through. It is made from black nylon polymer. The other benefits though are environmental, and the dope dyeing process is far more environmentally friendly because we don't use a huge number of chemicals. The amount of water used in the dyeing process is eliminated. So overall, the dope dyeing process is beneficial for both the consumer and the environment. And it does restrict us slightly in terms of the colors that we offer on the wings, but we know that each and every wing we make is the highest quality and has got a low environmental impact compared to other fabrics out there.